Long ago in the past, in a little town, there was a girl named Lily, and she lived in a really, really old house. This house was not just old, but incredibly ancient, and it had stood there for a whole 100 years before her parents had decided to buy it. Lily made this house her home for as long as she could remember, and she called it the old house. The old house was big and had creaky wooden floors, which added to its old, tiny charm. Lily's parents loved the character of the house, and so they moved in and made it their own. Lily was just a tiny girl at the time, barely old enough to remember her own name, but the house left a lasting impression on her. As she grew, Lily's attachment to the house deepened. She'd explore its dusty corners, finding little treasures and secrets hidden away in nooks and crannies. She'd spend countless hours in the garden, playing with ladybugs and butterflies. She felt like the house was her friend, always there, always welcoming. But as the years passed, and Lily grew older, she began to notice something peculiar. She started seeing what she described as a see-through pink girl inside the house. This see-through pink girl was like a ghost, but not scary. She was, in fact, quite friendly. Lily felt drawn to her and decided to give her a name. She called her Amy. She wasn't sure where the name came from, but it just felt right. Amy wasn't like the scary ghosts in the stories Lily heard from her friends. Amy was always smiling and waving, and she seemed to like playing games with Lily. They would play hide and seek, with Amy hiding behind the old, worn-out curtains or in the shadows of the musty attic. Lily talked to Amy, and Amy listened. She shared her thoughts, dreams, and fears with her transparent friend. For some reason, Amy felt like a guardian angel to Lily. She was always there when Lily needed comfort, like a loving friend who never left her side. However, things took a turn when Lily turned 13. Her dad grew concerned about her constant talks of Amy and her ghostly friend. He worried that his little girl might be going a little bit crazy. It was then that her mum decided it might be best to have Lily talk to someone about her unique experiences. It wasn't to make Lily feel strange. It was to ensure she was okay and not troubled by her encounters with Amy. Feeling the weight of her parents' concern, Lily decided to stop talking about Amy and her adventures. She wanted to make her parents happy and to assure them that she was just like any other kid. So, she carried on with her life, trying to be a normal teenager. However, at 16, her parents made a big decision. They decided to sell the old house. This was a difficult choice, but they felt it was time to move to a more modern and comfortable home. They packed their belongings and prepared to leave the place that held so many memories. Just 2 weeks before their scheduled move to the new house, something inexplicably strange happened. One night, Lily was fast asleep in her bed, nestled in her cozy room, when Amy suddenly appeared. She was there, right in front of Lily, and she was pointing toward the bathroom just across the hall. In a gentle voice, Amy said, "Not my mum." Confused and half asleep, Lily rubbed her eyes and turned her gaze toward the bathroom. What she saw sent chills down her spine. A lady was hanging from a cord that was attached to the bathroom light. The lady looked as though she had been hanging there for a very long time. Her skin was pale, and her clothes were tattered. Suddenly, one of her old boots fell to the floor with a thud, and Lily gasped in horror. This shocking sight jolted her awake, and she bolted to her parents' room to tell them about the terrifying vision. However, when she shared the chilling encounter with her mum didn't react the way she expected. Instead of consoling her frightened daughter, her mum seemed disappointed. It was as if she was upset that Lily was talking about Amy again after all these years. With a heavy heart, Lily returned to her room, convinced that it had all been a terrible nightmare and that everything would soon return to normal. But a few days later, Lily had another eerie dream. She woke up to the sound of crying coming from the bathroom. In her dream, she hurried to the bathroom, and there she saw the same lady who had been hanging from the bathroom light. This time, the lady was crying and holding a little girl under the water in the bathtub. To her shock, the little girl was none other than the see-through pink girl, Amy. But this time, Amy wasn't moving at all. The dream was so unsettling that it made Lily wake up crying. She was terrified and overwhelmed by the haunting images from her dreams. Like a scared child, she rushed to her mum's room and recounted the dreadful vision. Her mum tried her best to calm her down and provide comfort. And then, at that very moment, Amy walked into the room. Lily gasped, whispering to her mum, She pulled the covers up to her neck, her eyes filled with terror. Her mum, too, was taken aback and couldn't find the words to explain what was happening. Amy slowly walked up the side of the bed, and for the first time she touched Lily. This was something that had never happened before. Lily screamed and cried, "Yang, stop touching me!" But all her mum could say was, "I'm not touching you." On the other side of the bed, her mum was also being pushed out by an unseen force. It felt like this strange encounter lasted a really, really long time. Eventually, Amy stopped her unsettling actions and left the room. Lily, shaken and terrified, cried herself to sleep, and her mum remained awake, wondering what had just occurred. She kept a close watch, hoping to understand the mysterious events better. From that night on, Lily never spent another night in that old house. Her parents hurriedly packed their things and moved to their new home, leaving behind the old, creaky dwelling that had been a part of their lives for so long. But something bizarre happened after they left. Just 2 weeks later, the old house suddenly caught fire. The back of the house and the garage burned down in a blaze of fury. They said the reason was spontaneous combustion, a term that left everyone perplexed. Since that day, the house changed hands many times within just 10 years. Yet, nobody wanted to stay there for long, and the girl, Lily, firmly believed that it was all because of Amy. Her see-through pink friend who had once filled the old house with mystery and wonder.